New South Wales is preparing to welcome 250 international students of Fortnight from July. The move is set to boost the economy and benefit the hospitality industry. Joining us live is leading chef and restaurateur Luke Mangan, and he joins us from his restaurant Glass in the heart of Sydney. Luke, thanks for your time. Do you welcome the government's plan to get international students back?
Good morning and thanks for having me. Yes, I do. I think the hospitality industry is doing pretty well at the moment, but for example, give this place, Glass at the Hilton Hotel, we're open only 4 days a week where we would normally be open 7 days a week. Now, we've been advertising for many staff, from young chefs, baristas, wait staff, cleaners, etc. And we've been advertising for weeks on end. We may get a few applications. We're finding a lot of people are not turning up to these job interviews as well. So we can't employ Aussies. Now, rule number one is, and everyone in the hospitality business wants to employ Australians first, and that's our priority. But sadly, they're not applying or they're not turning up for the interviews. Now, we've been speaking to the government. I've had many meetings with the Treasurer, Dominic Perrottet, and even Gladys Berejiklian about these things. And the good thing is this government's listening to the industry and they're acting on it. And by bringing back these students, and I trust the government will bring these students back in a very safe format, and they'll be quarantined, etc., etc. Now, we do need these people back so we can open our business in full capacity, and that generates, again, more jobs and more businesses open, and hopefully will stay open for a lot longer.
It's interesting you say that people haven't been turning up to interviews, you've been struggling to get workers so you can be open 7 days a week. Do you think there's a problem with the job seeker program?
Well, obviously, people aren't wanting to come and take jobs in our industry, hospitality and tourism. Perhaps they're getting rewarded elsewhere from government handouts, and that's stopping them to come to work. I mean, our industry probably hasn't helped itself in the past with wage theft and things like that, long hours and unsociable hours, but I think our industry is a great industry for young people to get into, and we've got to push the government to get the skills things out there and TAFEs working and getting young kids to understand our industry better.
Yeah, and look, I want to ask you, you've taken over food at the Mater Hospital in Brisbane. What changes have you made?
Well, we started that about 3-4 months ago, and the goal there is to basically change food Australia-wide in hospitals. And as you said, we started at the Mater Hospital in Brisbane, and basically the menus we're doing there now, it's all about clean, healthy eating. And, you know, I want to have a herb garden, a vegetable garden on the roof up there eventually, and we're just cooking clean, healthy food because we all know that hospital food in the past hasn't been great. And I think what we're trying to do is create a path for other hospitals in the country to follow.
Yeah, it sounds like this was pretty needed. What other changes would you like to see in other hospitals?
Well, I think it's just, you know, you see hospital food as really second rate, and it's just sort of reheated in a microwave, and it's sort of, a lot of it's packet food and things like that. We're using salmon from Tasmania, barramundi from Northern Territory, so it's real restaurant quality food as a hospital, in hospital food. So, and we're really focusing on the nutrition. I'm working very closely with the dietitian up there, and you know, it's been really good. You know, I might submit a recipe or a dish, and Sally, the dietitian, would come back to me and say, okay, let's take a little sugar out of that or a little salt out of that. So it's win-win for everyone. I'm learning a few different things in that field, and it's going to be better for our customers here in our restaurants as well.
It will be, and patients who are in hospital can enjoy a nice meal, a nice nutritious meal. Now, it is the long weekend. What are your tips about where we should go and where can we eat, and what should we be eating this weekend?
Wow, look, it's in Sydney, it's beautiful weather, but a bit chilly. So, you know, there's so many great restaurants, and I'd be like to, well, obviously Victoria, everyone needs to get out to their local restaurants and cafes and you know, Grossi Florentino in Burke Street and things like that. In Sydney, you know, I like going to the Woolloomooloo Wharf or somewhere down at Bondi. I think that's great. You know, there's so many great restaurants. And obviously we've got to support the country down in Barrel, the little places out there, little wineries and things like that. So, but again, you know, all these little places that are doing so well outside of the cities, they're also struggling for staff as well, and that's been a real problem. Some of them are only open for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they've got to close the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays because they don't have the staff. So that's a real problem as well.